I suck, my bad. You know, I had to take the phone off Bluetooth again.
Continue on I-110 South.
Because quality is so bad through the car's Bluetooth. So anyway, you just got to be careful. You got to have discernment. I always talk about discernment. You got to be able to decipher and decode and understand what's being said and done and look at patterns and consistency. The fake ones are always inconsistent. It never fails. Never fails. They always deviate. And sometimes they're so good that it's hard to catch these deviations, but they're there. So, just look out for it. Don't let the smooth talk fool you, because that's what it's doing to most of us. We're being fooled. When are they going to talk about the dangers of 5G? These pretty politicians. And if they have talked about it, give me some receipts. Because I ain't heard one word about it. Because the Toxicology Report Program just released a study that showed that cell phone radiation does indeed cause cancer. But who's talking about it? Go do the research, find out. Go look that up. Just happened a few days ago they released that. They released it, and no one is talking about it. No one is saying, oh shit, you know what? We need to stop proliferating this 5G shit. We need to stop pushing it. We need to shut it down. No one is talking about that. Nobody that I know of. Except for a few YouTubers. But it's common sense, right? Anything that's wireless is giving off radio waves. And not even just wireless. Anything that pushes out freaking signals, that's radio waves. Those are radio waves. And what is radio a root word for?
On the right.
Radioactive.
Stop and go traffic.
Radiation. All right? Some frequencies are so low it won't affect humans that much. Like the old school FM, AM radio stations. You know what I'm saying? Very low frequencies. 92 hertz, 80 hertz, whatever the radio station is. But this 5G is operating on a millimeter wave, right? It's on a millimeter wave. And it's operating anywhere from 12 gigahertz to 90 gigahertz. That's massive. I'm an electrician, all right? And I understand electrical current. I understand AC theory, DC theory. I understand all that. So, and I know what these waves look like. I know what kind of electromagnetic field certain electrical shit gives off. And this 5G putting out all these waves, all these huge waves that can't travel far because it's too big, and it interacts with the air. Anything it interacts with on its way to your device knocks it down. All right, and there's no wonder they're cutting down trees all over the neighborhood. All these trees in the wilderness are being burned down. All this shit is happening in conjunction with the Agenda 21. And all these politicians that we have in the Senate and the Congress, no one is concerned about Agenda 21 and what that's going to mean for people. No one is speaking out against 5G, because I understand that 5G is dangerous. It's more dangerous than anything that's ever been out. Current cell phones run about 1.9 gigahertz on a microwave scale. All right. Wi-Fi operates on 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And 2.4 gigahertz happens to be the frequency at which the dielectric loss for water begins. So what that means is, if your body is made up of 70% water, these Wi-Fi signals are interacting with the water molecules in your body. Now, the dielectric loss begins at 2.4, so it doesn't stay there. It goes up from there. But every time water dielectric loss reaches 2.4, it messes with the water molecules. You know, and this causes your liver to put out more insulin. Then it spikes your insulin and it makes people fat, and people can't lose weight. You know, it does a lot of funny shit. You know, I don't remember the exact process, but these things that you're coming into contact with every day is affecting your body. And me too, because I have Wi-Fi in my house. You know, not everything is wired. You know, I wire as many things as possible, and I need to do that this weekend. Go ahead and finish wiring shit. Hardwire all of your devices, as many as possible, to the Wi-Fi. And don't get that WiGig bullshit, because that WiGig that's coming, the new Wi-Fi, is going to operate at 60 gigahertz, flat out. And you know what happens at 60 gigahertz? Huh? Oxygen absorption. Oxygen absorption. The frequency for oxygen absorption is 60 gigahertz. So that means that when the oxygen, when it's absorbable, is the frequency is 60 gigahertz. So your body, anything that absorbs oxygen, needs that oxygen to be at 60 gigahertz to absorb it. All right, it's fully functioning. It's a functioning oxygen molecule when it's at 60 gigahertz. All right. The WiGig coming down the pike is at 60 gigahertz. So when you have two objects, what happens when we turn on the 5G? Oh man, well, sickness. Some people might hemorrhage. Some people might pass out. Some people will get migraines. Some people will have cardiac arrest. It can do a lot of things. See, listen, your body needs oxygen to go through the Krebs cycle. All right, the Krebs cycle is when your cells take in oxygen and whatever else it needs to create energy, and it turns out ATP. All right, ATP is an energy thing. It's an energy burst that your mitochondria creates. So the oxygen gets to the mitochondria, right, through the cell, and then that motherfucking mitochondria is basically the power plant for your cell that gives out that energy that your body needs, that your tissues need. So whatever tissue those cells make up, it needs all that ATP, man, to function. So when you have a fucking radio wave at 60 gigahertz contacting an oxygen molecule whose absorption rate is 60 gigahertz, what you get is resonance, okay? Resonance. Those are the resonant frequencies of oxygen. Wow. Transhumanism. You think that's a good thing? It's not. You want to lose your humanity? Go through transhumanism. You know? You want to stay a whole person? You want to be who you are? Do you want to transform into a freaking half machine? I don't. Not in this world. You know, you think we're going to evolve? You know how long it takes to evolve? Thousands of years for a human being to evolve. We're not the flu virus, all right? The flu virus can evolve every year because the life of a flu virus is so damn short that it goes through its generations much more quickly. It takes us a long time to fucking thousands of years to evolve. So it would take thousands of years to evolve to the kind of shit that this 5G and WiGig is gonna throw at us, and we ain't gonna last. Okay, and they can hit those frequencies whenever they want, especially with the 5G. If they want to hit the 60 gigahertz to fuck up the oxygen in the air, so your hemoglobin can't bind to it and take it to the organs and take it to the cells that need it. Hey, let's flip this 5G to 60 gigahertz real quick. This motherfucker is Snap Turtle. He's talking too much shit on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Let's hit him. Let's hit him with that shit. Because what they're gonna do, they're gonna point these 5G trends. It doesn't. It's gonna cost a lot. It's gonna cost a shitload of money. You know, it's fucked. You know what I mean? It's not. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to use something so inefficient. Yeah, that's how much they love me already. Already, apparently. Bear with me for a minute. Let me know. Can you hear me? Am I coming through clear? Is it still buffering? Let me know. Anyway. So my question is, oh, thank you, San Diego. Oh, San Diego. All right. Straight up San Diego. That's what's up. San Diego is beautiful. Beautiful place. So, like I was saying, are your pretty politicians talking about this shit? Because all this is public knowledge. What frequencies this shit operates on, that's public knowledge. The fact that this shit can cause cancer is public knowledge. All this shit is public knowledge. So why are we not talking about this? Why are we so quick to push this shit and put it out and proliferate it? Because of Agenda 21. Agenda 21 is real. That's public knowledge too. Agenda 21 is an agenda where they want to get all the people into these few mega cities and build a bullet train system all over the country. And that'll be the only way people can move about the country is through these bullet trains. They want to get rid of the vehicles. They're going to eventually want to get rid of electric vehicles, because when you charge electric vehicles, you're still using electricity, which is using fuel, which they say is causing all these global warming problems. Are these pretty politicians, are they going to talk about the geoengineering that's actually destroying the world? Much worse than what we're doing, the carbon emissions here on the ground. The shit they're doing with this geoengineering, that's the biggest problem. Are they talking about that? Nah, they're gonna talk about cars, which cars' exhaust systems are so efficient now that they're barely shooting out any fucking any exhaust that has all this CO2 in it. Especially like companies like Toyota. Their engines are so efficient, it's barely putting out any motherfucking emissions. That's why if you own a Toyota past a certain year, I had one of my Toyotas for like 5-6 years, something like that, and never had to get a small check, because they know the scrubbers in these goddamn engines, the catalytic converter. As a matter of fact, I had a Toyota 4Runner, and this is how it was. If this is 94 Toyota 4Runner, and I was in school, right? I was going to college, parked my shit on the street. Some motherfucker came and stole my catalytic converter, And that's when I found out that they have aluminum in them.
Next exit on the right.
Turns out
and then
they
left
bond
turn.
well with the CO2, so it scrubs it really well. All right. So they can make vehicles more efficient using this fuel. Hell, they can make these power plants more efficient. They have scrubbers too. But what's happening is they're spraying these chemtrails in the sky, and these chemtrails is what's actually trapping these what they call greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. All right. But are they talking about that? My black ass
In
no.
a quarter of a mile, left turn onto West 200.
But is Alexandria Ortiz going to talk about that? While she's talking about giving free health care to everybody, which I love the idea of that. But this has been a talking point for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Don't just talk about it, push it. Get that shit done, get that shit out the way, and let's work on saving people, saving our children. What about the vaccines? These vaccines they're forcing kids to be injected with before they can go to school in states like California. When it says on the insert of these vaccines that this vaccine has not been tested for mutagenic potential, carcinogenic potential, and impairment of fertility. That means that they haven't tested if this shit can give you cancer, if this shit can give you genetic mutations, or if it can sterilize you. Yeah. Yep. The freedom of movement. The freedom of movement. That's probably the most important human right, next to free speech and the Second Amendment. So first, what do they want to get rid of first? The Second Amendment. Then they want to get rid of the First Amendment, right? And they're going to do that by getting rid of the Second Amendment. Then they're going to work on freedom of movement. Because if you don't have a way to fight back, they can keep your ass where they want you. I heard you. Hunger Games, remember that? You ever watch Hunger Games? Anyway, they're not talking about these goddamn vaccines and how dangerous they are. You know? But you have doctors who get paid up to $750,000 a year in bonuses for giving out these vaccines to your children. All right, and you and your pregnant wife. DTaP for your wife? Are you kidding me? Why are we injecting a woman who's pregnant with a precious life? Why are we trying to give her these injections? Make sense of this. Yeah, Fortnite. That's another thing. So many people addicted to Fortnite. I think it's a piece of shit. Personally, I don't like that game. You know.
Your destination
and
is
it has
on the right.
A high level of blue light emissions. And you know, these kids play Fortnite at night.
You have arrived at your destination.
And these blue light, the blue light that comes out of this game is blinding people. It's slowly blinding people. It's killing the retinal in your eye. Blue light, white light. No white light at night, no blue light at night. You know, blue light is a color spectrum for lighting. It's a color spectrum. So there's white light, there's blue light, and so many other colors. You ever go to the settings in your TV, and you can adjust the blue light. You can adjust certain things. You can turn the blue light down. But at night, it's not good to take all this blue and white light in your eyes, because what it does is it messes with your circadian rhythm, which affects your sleep, which affects melatonin production, you know. So, and I don't know where you people are in the world, but I live in California. It's a Title 24 state, which means, you know, we got to put LEDs everywhere. LED gives off white light, all right? You know, up to 3,000 Kelvin. what they do is they replace the street lights that are, orange glow, incandescent, real warm, real subdued. You can walk at night and still be sleeping when you get home. Cell phones they have white light and blue light. That's why at a certain time you can turn on the filter for your phone to warm your phone down, to filter out the white light and the blue light. You can do that. You should be able to do that with your phone. But when they put these LED lights out in the street lamps, and it's a whole freaking 12 miles of white light coming from these LED lamps, it's the equivalent to having a full moon every night. Full moons only happen once a month, right? And they used to call it the harvest moon. They call it the harvest moon because farmers would spend a little bit extra time at night harvesting whatever they're planting. So it helps them stay up. It helps them, gives them energy. But this should not be happening every night. You should not be going outside and you have a full moon blasting you in your face every night. It messes with people's sleep. So that's why they have melatonin. They sell melatonin pills now. So, yeah. So, but are politicians, are these pretty politicians talking about this? I haven't heard it. All right, it's the same talking points, the same bullshit. We get it. Free healthcare for everybody. All right, we want that. You got to put out the fucking legislation and let's get it passed. Now let's move on to the more important shit. Keeping our children safe. That's really what it's all about. This is the only reason I'm doing it, because I have children that I want them to enjoy this world when they're my age. So this is why I'm doing this. Hopefully I'll begin to reach more people. I'm not really, I don't really like all the attention and all that. I'm not really that type of person to where, look at me, everybody. I'm talking about shit. No. But, I'm putting shit out there. Not many people are talking about this type of shit, Shout out to Hassan Campbell and the Fullerton Informer, two of the realest YouTubers, Joe Imbriano and Hassan Campbell. Check those people out. They be talking about this real shit, and they both, especially the in terms of the shit I mostly talk about. Joe Imbriano, he brought light to me, a lot of shit. He brought a lot of shit to light for me, and I did the research. Yeah, hopefully I keep it up. That's my plan, because there's always some new shit every day, right? Always something new that we have to be aware of. Look up, look in the sky. Chemtrails, wildfires, there's all kind of shit that they're doing, and all these jobs they're pointing at us. All these jobs. You said good job, and I said all these jobs instead of all these weapons. Oh no, this is not my first live. This is like maybe my 15th, because I've been just going on and on. Just check out my page. I got more videos talking about different shit. But yeah, it's important. More people need to speak up. I didn't want to do it, but I got to. I need to reach other people. No, it's not my first live. I know it seems like it because you're the only person watching, I think. There's only one person watching, but no, I have other lives. Good looking, man. I appreciate that, San Diego. Because I just want to get the word out there. And I encourage people to do research, because when Joe Imbriano, when he talks his shit, he put a lot of new shit onto me. And I did the research. And I was already aware of certain things, but not this deeply. I was focused kind of on the wrong shit, the shit they put you out there that they want people to be normally focused on. Like racism and all that shit. And that shit's important too. Racism is bullshit, and we're aware of it, and we need to know who these racist motherfuckers are. But at the same time, they're pointing the weapons at everybody. All the oppressed don't have one color. All right, they have many colors, and some of those oppressed people are the others. So, you know, and they're pointing all the shit at everybody. Meanwhile, they have their doomsday bunkers from where shit get raw, and they know how to shield against all these weapons. So that's another thing I'll talk about too one day, is things that you can do to protect yourself against 5G. Or you can go to Joe Imbriano's page. He has a lot of info on that. I'll have some info on it, and yeah, it's just about building together, linking together, and working on shit. You know, and I started a prepping and training series that I'm going to be touching on too. So I have 2 videos for that, or 3, I think. So yeah, it's just about getting the word out, man, getting people aware. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this up. Anyway, I gotta hit work, so I'll be checking y'all out on another live. You know, maybe I'll do some on the way home, maybe not, depending on how I feel, depending on what I find out during my work day. Anyway, much love, y'all. Stay up, stay woke, and look up. Always look up. Peace.